Hi. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Right on the kisser.
Are you a good girl? Oh, are you a good girl? Oh. Okay.
Miss Repoo, oh, I love you so much. Oh, God. Hey guys, welcome back. So today we're going to be doing some repotting, but we're not going to be doing the normal repotting. We're not going to be going up in size. We're going to be going down in size pots. So we're going to talk a little bit about today about when it's time to downsize your pot. Sometimes our plants are doing fantastic. This guy was doing so well. This here is my Cebu Blue Pothos. He was doing fantastic. He was growing like a weed. The large pot really made sense at the time. And since then, he's kind of gone downhill a bit. We've lost a lot of plant. And now it just seems like this is a lot of pot, a lot of soil for what's probably going on in there root-wise. So it's time to downsize this pot. I have another plant that we're also going to be downsizing today. And yeah, let's just talk a little bit about it. Do you have any plants that you feel like have in too large of a pot? Are you noticing that maybe the growth is slowing down? Maybe the growth is getting smaller? Maybe you're seeing a lot of dead leaves and stuff at the top of the pot. Maybe it's just not growing at all. It might be time to take a look at the size pot that you have your plant in. It might just be way too big. So that's definitely what's been going on with this guy here. Again, this is my Cebu Blue Pothos. So I am just we're gonna depot it. We're gonna see what's going on with the roots, and then we're gonna repot it into a smaller pot, and most likely a much smaller pot, because there's just no way this plant, like, look at it. There's no way that it needs all this pot, right? Like, there's just no way. So let me go ahead and kind of gently dump her out here, and this will give me a chance to get out the little alocasia corm that's been in here for who knows how long. And who knows how it got in there? I have no idea. It's so strange. Okay. Woo. You guys. Oh my goodness. Woo. Okay. So, first things first, let me just kind of show you. Oh my God. Let me show you just how much soil was in the pot. Oh. I hope this is okay. I have my mic. Maybe I'll move it. I had my mic on my little strings here because, I don't know, just because. Oh, this was 2 pots. We're going to see some of my dirty work here. So let me just kind of show you one thing really quick. This is kind of funny. I think it's funny. I mean, it's not good. I definitely made a boo-boo here, but so that, all of that is just been like not used essentially by my plant. That's insane. What a waste of space and dirt. Okay, so let's go ahead and start really taking a look here, because it looks like this was 2 separate plants at one point, like in 2 separate pots, and I just like smooshed them together. Oy, oy. Okay, let's see here. Can I disconnect them? Oh, where'd the corm go? But here's that little alocasia. Hopefully you can see that little guy there. There's some roots. There's no corm. I wonder where the corm went. Okay, let me try and detangle this. This is definitely getting a smaller pot. Oh my God, I can't even believe it. Okay, just kind of shake it to get, oh no, is this growing into the other pot? Oh no. Oh, there we go. So here's one part of the plant kind of freed up. And let's see. Here's the other. So I've got just looks like one dead leaf here. That's not bad. Okay. Wowza. This definitely needs a soil refresh. Oh my gosh. This is just like a giant chunk of moss right here because this is like, I don't know, a little group of cuttings that I had propagating and I didn't take it out of the moss. I just shoved it in there. What? What was I thinking? I mean, I guess that's like okay to do sometimes, but in a plant with so much soil, what was I thinking? Oh, okay, I'm gonna try and get as much of the sphagnum moss out of here as I can. Whoa, saying sphagnum made me just drool so much. But yeah, so trying to get some of this moss out of here. Free up the roots. It's so funny, that's so bad. Okay, beautiful. We've got that freed. We'll set those off to the side. I'm gonna kind of loosen up the rest of this soil here because this soil just looks like there's nothing added to it. There's like the tiniest bit of perlite, tiniest bit, and that's it. So this guy's definitely gonna be happy with a new home and some better soil to grow in. I should have done this a long time ago. And it's gonna open up so much space on the shelf that this was sitting on. I'm just kind of tugging off like any of the roots that are easy to come off. They're probably just dead anyway, so. But yeah, it's gonna free up so much more space on the shelf that I had this guy on in my room, which is gonna be really, really nice. Okay, let's see, I'm just gonna kind of break this apart. Okay. Beautiful. I don't know how this plant was still growing, honestly. I'm shocked. I'm absolutely shocked that all the roots just haven't rotted completely, which I guess that's due to my poor plant care and habitual underwatering. So I guess that was working for me. Now, I was thinking that this plant was gonna go into this pot. There's no way. This is gonna be way too big because, let me show you here. This is all the root that we're working with right here. Like, that's it. This root was in this pot. Like, that's so bad. I cannot get over that. Okay, so I feel like this size pot will suffice. I think that'll be plenty big, honestly. Oh my gosh. I'm like embarrassed that that was in there. My goodness. So yeah, sometimes you need to, oh, broke a nail. Sometimes you need to break a nail. And sometimes, get off of there. Sometimes you need to take a look at your roots and move your pot or move your plant into a smaller size pot. Bigger is not always better. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I am just gonna try to kind of group these all together. Okay. And I'm gonna have this hanging off a shelf, so I want them all to be kind of hanging off of there, but I do want them to be back. Oh, does it look better this way? It really does. Okay, so we're gonna go like this. So I'm gonna want the plant trailing like this, but I don't want all of the leaves like super forward to the pot, so that way it tips forward. I want them all anchored towards the back of the pot, and that way they're kind of lying over dirt, if that makes sense, and then hopefully they'll root more into the soil and be better anchored in there. I hope that makes sense, but I'll show you what I mean. So right now it looks like I have all of them lying over this way and the top of the soil here, but the plant is actually, I'm gonna have it lie like this so that it folds forward, and it's got hopefully just a little bit better anchorage into the pot. Now, it's gonna look like crap at first because he's been completely uprooted from his normal life. So he's gonna look a little disheveled at first, but he will figure himself out in no time. And I feel like an odd sense of relief having downsized this pot. I don't know why. I have a very, very odd sense of relief. And I think it's just because I know now that this plant is going to do so much better and I'm going to see so much more growth now. And I'm probably just going to enjoy this plant more because, again, can we look at the difference? Look at that. I mean, come on. So yeah, you're welcome, plant. I wonder if we're gonna have to downsize this next one as much as we did with this one because, whoa. Hiya. Okay, so this next plant that we're gonna be downsizing is one of my favorites. This is like one of my pride and joy plants, honestly. It's just such a freaking stunner. This is my Scindapsus Pictus Exotica. Ugh, she's so beautiful, but I have a feeling that like the Cebu Blue, we're in way too large of a pot. So let's just dunk her out and see what's going on in here. Oh, very, okay, let's see. And I did, just so you know, quick note, I should have mentioned this before, I did make sure to pour out any of the water that was in the saucers before I even brought them down here, but definitely before I start to take the plant out of here because that would just be a whole added mess that we don't need. Oh my gosh, the soil is so compacted. Okay, well, at least it all came out, so I feel like not so bad, but look at the soil, you guys. It's just like a nasty brick. It's just plain dirt. Nothing special in there. The smallest amount of perlite was added, and that's it. Oh my God. This is hilarious. Okay. You can tell that I put him in way too big of a pot just from the get-go because this is what we were in. Okay, wow. There's a lot of roots up in here. So I am going to try and kind of break some of this nasty soil off of the top here. It's so compacted and hard. Oh my God. How are you even growing? I'm shocked at how hard this is. Like, look at that. That's like a rock, but it's just soil. So I got most of the soil out of there. I'm gonna go ahead and put all of it back in the pot again so you can kind of see a better representation for how much wasn't needed. So yeah, we'll be going into a much smaller pot again. Okay, granted, there are more roots for sure in this one than the Cebu Blue, but the soil is far more worse. Like, far more worse? Does that make sense? Far worse, whatever, you know what I'm saying. The soil is way nastier, way more compacted. I don't think I've ever seen soil so compacted before. Wow. Get out of there. Excuse my face while I do this. I'm sure I'm making the funniest faces, but yeah, okay. Okay, beautiful. Now let's see. This, okay, I think this size pot actually will make sense for the amount of roots that we have in here. Once again, I think I'm gonna feel a real big sense of relief repotting this because this is crazy. What? Oh my God. Okay. Let's see here. Let's put some soil at the base. Now in my soil mixture here, I've got just some plain soil. I'm using Miracle-Gro Orchid potting mix just because that's the only thing that I could find. They call it Orchid potting mix, but there's like hardly any orchid bark in there. It's very, very moist. So I did go ahead and add extra orchid bark. I added vermiculite, and there's a little bit of perlite in here as well, but not much. Okay, so put some soil in at the bottom. And then let's see here. Yeah, some of these roots actually look really nice. Some thick nudes. Thick nudes. By nudes, I mean noodles, just so we're all on the same page. Okay, so got that in here. I'm just gonna start backfilling. I am gonna need to make up a little more soil, I think, which is unfortunate. But I will not be using any more of that other stuff. That just looks so gross. The last of my orchid bark, our big, beautiful Scindapsus or Syndapsus is now repotted into a much, much smaller pot. We went from over twice this size. So really, really happy with this. For some reason, our air is kicking on now, so I'm sorry if that's super loud, but I think that's gonna do it for this video. I just really wanted to share this process with you just so that you guys can see that it is normal to overpot your plants or to just have your plants do really, really well and need that larger pot, and then for them to tank, the roots to die off, and then for them to just not need such a large pot anymore. And it's absolutely okay to kind of go backwards in a sense, pot-wise, and downsize your pot into a smaller home that just makes more sense for it, you know? And then in no time, I'm sure these plants are going to be ready and needing a much larger pot again. But I think that having them in the smaller pot will better facilitate that growth. So yeah, don't be afraid to downsize your pot if you are needing to. And if you're wondering too, if you need to downsize your pot, check the roots. Don't be afraid to get in there, see what the roots are doing. If you get in there and it's packed full of roots, you may need a larger pot. And if you get in there and there's literally no roots at all and it's just all soil, you might need to downsize. But either way, don't be scared to mess with your plants a little bit because they'll keep growing. That's what they want to do. So I'm going to get off my soapbox here before I really get onto my soapbox. I'm going to get off. So thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will see you in the next video. I have some major mess to clean up here. Okay. I just had the worst feeling that my microphone was off that whole time, but we're good. We're good. Okay. Just realized too, I could have had this little guy on.